Aloha everyone, my name is Tank and today we're talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. I'll be giving you guys my thoughts about where we currently are in the market as well as where we might be heading in the near future. Right now, Bitcoin is trading for $31,722. We are trying to rally and reclaim $32,000, the best that we possibly can, but we are still running into resistance. We are still running into bears, and the bulls and the bears are currently still in a battle for this price range. Guys, we actually rallied all the way up to $32,444 yesterday before being pushed back down to where we are now. So again, guys, we are still battling out for this price point on the Bitcoin chart, guys. It is really important that we keep up $31,000. We need to get back to $32,000 if I'm being completely honest with you guys and stabilize there. Now we are looking pretty good. In fact, I'll even say that as I see this red dot print on Market Cipher B just recently with this red triangle on Market Cipher A, I still think we look good. You guys got to keep in mind, guys, with every pump there's a dump, but with every dump there's a pump. So we can't just keep coming out of the hole without retracing a little bit. Matter of fact, as you guys can see with the red and green candles here, with every pump there's a dump, right? With every dump there's a pump. It's just the way that it goes. So this is to be expected, guys. I would have liked to have seen us rally a bit more and get back into $32,000 and hold that. We are not far away from doing that, but you know, it is what it is and we are where we are. We have to zoom out and take a bigger look at the overall patterns that we've been tracing here or following. If you guys can see here, the overall big pattern is still well intact. We are in a descending bullish pattern, by the way, that we entered it in on the Bitcoin 4-hour time frame. So we do have much room more to go if this pattern holds up. But the one thing I want to show you guys is within this bigger wedge pattern, I actually saw another pattern being played out on smaller time frames, and this is just the regular wedge pattern here. This is a typical wedge pattern for Bitcoin. It's kind of like wishy-washy. I'll be totally honest, but by the way that we entered and on the time frames that we entered it in, we're right in the middle of this, so it could go either way. It's kind of ironic that it's actually playing out right here on the chart. So let me show you guys what I mean here. If I just drew a line right here, basically where this wedge pattern started, you can see that we're right in the middle. Usually the way that patterns are dictated is by the way that you enter, right? A pattern, I mean, I guess if you want to take this wick, you can say that we did enter on the upside to this pattern, so technically we should exit that wedge pattern to the upside as well. And if we did, I really wouldn't be surprised, because that would lean into the same thought process and the same things that I've been sharing with you guys over the past few videos, which is all about Grayscale's unlocking event, which is currently taking place right now. I've been telling you guys, I'm in the mindset of thinking that these investors are not going to be selling at a loss. In fact, they'll either do nothing at all or buy more Bitcoin. And right now, I'm not going to say that, you know, I was right, because I could possibly be wrong and things could go south quickly here. But at the current moment, I'm kind of scratching my head wondering if that's actually going to play out, because as you can see on this trend line, which I just made yesterday, it's holding up quite well. Actually, we had over 3 touches, and that's why I drew it on the Bitcoin bigger wedge pattern, is because whenever I see any pattern being played out that has 3 or more touches, I mean, I gotta give it some kind of attention. So that's why I drew it out. And as I'm looking at it and staring at it more and more, you can see that, you know, it's holding up. We've had wicks down to that range and bounced off it, found it as support. Now, right now, of course, like I said, we do have a red diamond and a red dot on Market Cipher B. So it does show us that we might possibly come back down and test this range again. So if we come back down here, we might bounce off $31,278 ish before coming back up here and just ranging within this smaller wedge pattern, and then exit to the high side, making higher lows on Bitcoin's chart. That possibility is high, guys, if what I've been saying actually plays out. But that's just, you know, that's just speculation. Again, not financial advice, just something that I'm seeing play out on the charts. And whenever I see patterns that have some kind of validation, and what I mean by that is, you know, by these touches, I always give it some kind of attention. It's something that possibly could play out. We could go down. As a matter of fact, from what I'm seeing on the 4-hour time frame, it does look like we will come down a little bit, or at least still range within $31,500 and where we are now, before, you know, we rally back up to $32,000, hopefully, and we capture that price later on in the day. Only time will tell. Right now, if I look on Market Cipher B, I can see that the RSIs are pointing back down. We do have that red dot that did print on Market Cipher B. So again, it does look like just on the 4-hour time frame that we will possibly see some kind of retracement. If we go to the 3-hour here, Yeah, it looks like it is playing out there. Everything's kind of lining up with the 4 hour. 2 hours looking, I don't know, kind of looking iffy, guys. It looks like we might just go sideways like a crab. You know, I know a lot of people are like throwing out that crab analogy a lot, and I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to start probably using it a lot more. But we are looking like we will just go sideways here for a little bit longer, just based on the 2 hour. 2 hours looking like it's starting to come back up. We might catch some kind of a support here soon. Let's look in the 1 hours. Again, conflicting information. 1 and 2 hours showing us that we might rally a little bit more. 2, 3 and 4 hours looking like, you know, we might just go sideways or down a little bit. So it's you know, anybody's game right now. We are just battling it out. It's Sunday. The volume is low. The Bulls and the Bears are just, you know, they're still boxing it out. So we just got to see what happens right now. Again, just keep in mind, just really pay attention to this lower time frame in this wedge pattern that I showed you guys here. This is on a zoomed in scale from that micro pattern or sub pattern that I drew out in the bigger wedge pattern. As you guys can see, came down here, bounce, 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 and we're slowly on the 1 hour time frame. We are trying to make lower highs on the Bitcoin price, guys. You know, it is what it is. It's small hopium, but you got to take those things into account because those things snowball into big momentum moves. So if you're not watching it, you know, you'll miss it. You'll just completely miss it. Excuse me for those Steam notifications. I got to find a way to get that off of my computer. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now for Bitcoin, guys. My thoughts is in the next 24 to 48 hours, especially after, you know, especially after options open up, later on today, we will see that, you know, people are probably taking a long position. I think this is a good position for, not for margin trading at all, or, you know, leverage trading at all, but for more spot positions. I think this is a good time to buy the dip, you know, DCN. We could get further dipped on, who knows, but you can't time the market. I do think this is a good level to overall buy the dip, or at least, you know, get in a little bit. Not financial advice. If we go on the daily again, guys, look at the daily. Look at the daily right now, guys. We just got another green double dot. We got low anchors on Market Cipher B, well below. We're in that 69, guys. So I like to get in any anchor below the 60 line. We're in 69 right now, going to 70. Is great to get into, especially on the daily time frames, guys. RSIs are starting to curve back up here, guys. This looks like a really, really good spot long entry. You know, not financial advice again, guys, but I just got to call it for what I'm seeing, guys. Look at, we don't get these double greens on the daily and these deep anchors very often. Even when we had the massive sell-off here, when we got the deep double green right here, yes, we did go sideways. We did come down further, but if you took that position and bought here when that flashed for you guys, we still rallied back up to $40,000. You know, we came from a low of about 30, where we are right now, all the way back up to $40,000. If you're a smart trader and actually were able to realize profits before we dipped back down, you know, again, if you're keeping an eye on the market and following what the signals are telling you, you would have been in a great position. You realize some great gains there. So again, guys, just be mindful of looking at the daily time frame, guys. This looks juicy as can be. You can't ask for any better long-term entries or spot buy entry on the Bitcoin chart, guys. You know, look at that. Boom, we rallied all the way up to where we were. This wasn't even below the 60 line here. These ones were. I mean, we don't get these very often. And when we do, guys, I mean, just look right here. After just falling, we'll just call it falling down to the ground here, right? Look at that, guys. That was when Corona hit. Boom, we had all that massive sell-off. We got that deep anchor, double greens on everything right here. And what did we do from there? If you would have just got in, held long-term, boom, to the sky, right? I'm telling you guys, pay attention to the daily time frame. Don't ignore it just because the sentiment's out there. They want you to think that it's bearish. They want you not to take these positions. They want it all for themselves, you know. Not financial advice, just letting you guys know my thought process. That's what I'm seeing here. Let's look at ETH real quick, guys. ETH, same thing. We just got a green dot on Market Cipher B. It's not as deep as far as the anchor wave goes as Bitcoin, but we did get a green dot. And again, whenever we get green dots on the daily, guys, do not ignore them. Don't be a dot trader. Obviously, know a little bit more when it comes to doing TA and stuff like that. Like go to lower time frames, which we will do here in just a minute, and get confirmations. But guys, just plain and simple, look at the daily green dots. Those usually play to the upside quite well for everybody. That's on Ethereum, guys. Let's go to the lower time frames to see what we're looking at. Let's go to the 4 hour here. As you guys can see, same thing, because it's gonna follow Bitcoin. I do have a sub pattern within the overall bigger wedge pattern. And as you guys can see here, it is holding up quite nicely, guys. We bounced right off this sub pattern right around 1848, rallying all the way up to where we are now. I mean, if you guys would have just got in, and if you guys saw that pattern as well, you guys would have saw 6.15% gains, guys. That's not bad. I'll take a 5 or plus % gain any day on a trade. Always realize profits. Don't be dumb and just wait it out thinking it's going to go up. Like I've always told you guys, with every pump there's a dump, with every dump there's a pump. So don't expect to be able to just hold on and see massive gains, especially right now. But if you are realizing profits, if you got in on that position, good for you guys. Way to keep an eye on things. But right now, that's what I'm paying attention to for Ethereum. Again, guys, I'm not selling anything. I'm just DCAing these dips. Matter of fact, I did buy this dip right here. And look where we are now. Look where we are now, guys. I've taken some profits on this spot trade. I'm letting a little bit more ride out because what I am seeing is some mixed signals. Like I said, on the 3 to 4 hours, it looks kind of bearish. Looks like things are turning back down on Market Cipher B. If you go to the 2 hour, though, it does look like things are curving back up on the RSIs. It looks like we're getting momentum again. It looks like we're doing quite well stabilizing here. Look at that, pinching together on Market Cipher B on the 1 hour. We might actually catch some more support here and rally back up to $2,000 for Ethereum. Guys, right now, I don't think is the time to be selling Bitcoin, Ethereum, or ADA, guys. I think this is like the greatest opportunity to buy long positions, guys. Again, I said in yesterday's video, I think it's all about perspective, right? Are you in the mindset of thinking that this is horrible? Are you thinking long term that this is a great opportunity to get back into where you wish you were 4 months ago, 5 months ago? Because that's the way I'm seeing it right now. Not financial advice, just kind of reminding you guys, it's all about how you perceive things and your mindset. Yeah. Let's go into ADA and take a quick look at what's going on with ADA. It's going to probably look very similar to Ethereum. Actually, look here, guys. ADA on the 1 hour does have a green dot. Looks like we are going to rally. Like I said, guys, conflicting information. Let's go to the 2 hour here. Looks like things are pointing back up on the RSIs. Looks like we are getting some kind of flow back in. Money flow looks sketchy. It is Sunday. Like I said, it is lower with the volume, but it does look like we are kind of stabilizing here. If I zoom in here on the charts, you can see we are going sideways here after rallying all the way up to about $1.20, almost $1.22. But we are looks like we are finding some kind of support, trying to put in lower highs on the charts for all three of these assets, to be honest with you. Like I said, guys, I'm in the mindset of thinking that this big sell-off that everybody was anticipating doesn't actually happen for Grayscale. Matter of fact, I think, like I've been saying, I think sooner or later we will see the momentum to the upside start kicking in on the charts, guys. There's only so much sell pressure that can be maintained before we actually start getting bought up. If you guys don't know, do your homework. There's less and less ETH on markets. There's the development for ETH 2.0 right around the corner. For ADA, there's smart contracts right around the corner. There's a lot of ADA being staked. The community is strong, guys. It's over 70% staked. You could have your opinion about that, but that's just, in my opinion, showing strong commitment to the asset of ADA. Also, development across countries are happening for ADA, and they have a lot of commitments from developers once smart contracts gets released. I am also trying to learn how to code and write on Cardano. I think it's a great platform. Definitely one that I'm going to be utilizing here in the future. But yeah, going back to the charts, guys, a lot of good fundamental and developmental things in the near future for especially Ethereum, especially for ADA. Do not sell your positions right now. Not financial advice, just life advice. And I'm certified because, I'm old, so I can tell you life advice. Anyway, going back to the charts, guys, that's what I'm seeing, guys. It's looking like we're trying to rally, set higher lows. Let's give it some time and see how it plays out here, guys. Let's move over to some quick crypto news, and I'm just going to touch base on just a few articles that I saw here. This is from CNBC, how the U.S. became the world's new Bitcoin mining hub. If you guys don't know, China just basically pushed out everything to do with free market, especially with Bitcoin. They got rid of Bitcoin mining. They banned it. They pushed out everybody that was trading Bitcoin. They are coming out with the digital CBDC there. They are Communist Party. They want nothing to do with any kind of free market. They want it out of their country. And that is how we are now becoming the superpower for Bitcoin mining, which is a good thing. It kind of put us in a weird position short term, but honestly, this is a really good thing when you're talking about the general FUD that's been spread about Bitcoin and its energy consumption, guys. We are using renewable energy more than any other. Matter of fact, I will say, guys, if you do your homework, you will see that Bitcoin is one of the biggest advertisers or I want to say proponents, but ambassadors of using renewable energy. Bitcoin mining is one of the biggest ambassadors when it comes to using renewable energy, just because the miners are using the vast majority of their energy is renewable energy, whether it be hydro or solar, and it coming to the States just eliminates all of that noise, all of that FUD that's been thrown around for so long, guys. If it gets over here, if it gets back to El Salvador where they're actually using volcanoes, 100% thermodynamic renewable energy, guys, to mine Bitcoin, guys, then that whole narrative of it being bad for the environment just gets thrown out the window, which it should already be thrown out the window, because in retrospect, just running our nations or even the world's monetary system as it is consumes much more energy than Bitcoin mining. So I don't know what running washers and dryers in the US alone in total puts out more energy consumption than mining Bitcoin, guys. So again, guys, it's all about the way you look at things in perspective. But anyway, that narrative will be squashed out once it does fully become 100% a U.S. dominated market. And I just think that that's such a good bullish thing, guys. Let's go over here to the next piece of news. This is from cryptonews.com. Bitcoin and inflation maturing into a real asset, guys. This is a real deal. Like, this isn't speculation. This is literally what's happened. It's all math, guys. Math doesn't lie. That's the beautiful thing about math. If we take a look at charts, trends, and statistics, it's all compiled with data, which is math, So if you actually take a look, I'm going to just read you guys a snippet here. Hopefully I don't mess it up. It makes sense that Bitcoin would be a hedge against inflation. It is what an economist would call a real asset, an asset of limited and predictable supply that is often priced in US dollars. Therefore, if the supply of the US dollar is rising, or that of any other fiat currency, which it is, guys, there's an endless supply. Did you guys know? And I know I'm getting this wrong because I don't have it right in front of me. Did you guys know the majority, like the vast majority of the circulating money supply that's in the market right now, as far as the US dollar, was just recently printed over the last year? That's scary. We have printed more money than we've ever printed over the last year, ever, by astronomical proportions, guys. Anyway, going back to the article, then it is likely that Bitcoin will appreciate against those currencies, even if its purchasing power were to remain stagnant. So even if nothing happened right now and we stayed at $31,000 for Bitcoin, just because of the endless supply that is fiat currency that can be possibly printed and the devaluation of the dollar. If you guys don't know, do your homework, guys. We are at the highest rate of inflation ever right now. The dollar is worth less and less and less every single day. Every single day. So even just based on math, if it does nothing at all, just by the diminishing supply of Bitcoin, it's more valuable than it is the dollar. So just something to keep in mind, guys. Bitcoin is a good hedge long-term versus fiat money. The math and statistics, the data shows you it. Everybody that gives you their opinion, remember that's just opinions. Math is math. You can't fudge numbers. It is what it is, guys. And then lastly, I just want to quickly show you guys, this is from Cryptoquant. I didn't actually sign me out. If you take a good look at what's going on with ETH exchange reserves on exchanges, guys, as you guys can follow here, we have less and less ETH on exchanges to buy, sell, and or trade, guys. I'm telling you, do not sell your Ethereum. Do not sell your ADA. That would be the craziest thing in the world for me personally, in my mind, to do. Again, just what I'm doing, not financial advice. If you different strokes for different folks, if you got to sell your position because you actually need that money, then hey, I feel you. You shouldn't have been in the market in the first place, though. That's my opinion. If you need that money that bad. But yeah, guys, yeah, I wouldn't sell it. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing for this Sunday, guys. Kind of funny how things are playing out. Again, guys, watch what happens with Grayscale. Watch what happens later on today when options open back up. Watch what happens when we find out who sold and who didn't over the next couple of days, guys. I hope you guys remain profitable. I hope you guys remain blessed. Remember, it's the Lord's Day. Go out there, say your prayers, do your duty, give him respect. If you don't believe that, it's just up to you guys, but I do. And remember, it's all due to him. Everything you got. Stay profitable. Practice proper risk management. Don't overextend yourself. Aloha. Peace.